welcome back everyone to the second session. Now that your stomachs are full and your hearts are happy, I assume, it's time to feed your minds with something fresh and exciting ideas. Let's all turn up the energy for our second session panel members. Please join me in giving them a warm, enthusiastic welcome. The panel members, requesting all the panel members to come on board. It's an honor to welcome Mr. Dhritiman Chakrabarti as a chairperson for the second session. To say a few words about Mr. Dhritiman Chakrabarti is a lie in itself, but I'll try. Mr. Dhritiman Chakrabarti is a seasoned operations and a supply chain leader with over 22 years of experience across pharmaceuticals, FMCG, chemical, and IT distribution sectors. Currently, serving as a director of operations at Ingram Micro, he specializes in driving operational excellence, optimizing logistics, and implementing strategic innovations. Mr. Dhritiman is also a recognized speaker and author, contributing thought leadership on topics such as emotional intelligence, digital transformation, and sustainable supply chains. It's our privilege to welcome you on board, sir. Over to you.
The lunch was fantastic, right? And at our homes, sometimes if you want to try a quick dish, nowadays there are app-based solutions that are available, which can actually within 10 minutes can deliver your desired dish at your home. At the same time, if you want to prepare your own dish and you suddenly realize that this garam masala is not available in your kitchen, again you can click on your mobile phone, go to the app and order, and that garam masala will be available within 10 minutes. So that's the world that we are living in today, my friends. And the topic that we are going to discuss is related to that revolutionary change that has happened in the field of logistics and how customer needs are created and then served. Okay? So some of the things that we are going to discuss as a part of this session, the session topic is strengthening urban logistics and micro-fulfillment. So we will look into how companies are adopting the creation of micro-fulfillment and utilizing micro-fulfillment for creating new level of growth in their business. We are also going to look at how the regulatory requirements for creation of micro-fulfillment centers are being handled by companies. What are the challenges? How they are handling those challenges? Because when we talk about micro-fulfillment centers, we are talking about something which is inside the city, right? Normally, for large warehouses, government has secluded a particular region. They call that region as warehousing zone, right? But inside the city, there is no such specific zoning of locations. So how companies are handling the regulatory requirement pertaining to this particular aspect. We will also look into that thing. Now I have a very interesting panel of speakers joining me today. The first, I would like to introduce the lady in the team, Ms. Neha Parikh. She is the director at Nivea India. She has more than 16 years of experience. She has worked with Godrej Consumer Products, J&J, Pidilite Industries, and Aramex. She has got good expertise in supply chain planning, logistics optimization, inventory management, and demand forecasting using data-driven strategies. Can we have a big round to welcome Ms. Neha Parikh? Thank you. Next in the panel, I have Mr. Ronak Shah, who is the Executive Director at V-Trans India Limited. So we will also hear the logistics part of this particular topic from him. So he is associated with VTrans from the past 12 years with expertise in marketing, branding, business development, CRM, and sales operations within the logistics and supply chain industry. Welcome, Mr. Ronak. Next, we would like to welcome Mr. Pranay Moon, who is the Associate Director of SCM Planning and Growth at Zepto. With over 15 years of experience in supply chain and e-commerce, he has worked with Flipkart, Target, Udaan. His expertise in supply chain segment includes demand planning, demand management, supply planning, production planning, inventory management, inventory optimization, and warehouse operations. Welcome, Mr. Pranay. Then we have Mr. Mayur Parwani. So he's representing Ultratech Cement as the lead demand planner. He is leading the entire SNOP in Building Products Division. He carries vast experience in field of supply chain, working with multiple industries like chemicals, ceramics, textile, and medical life sciences. Welcome, Mr. Mayur. Then we have Mr. Mahendra. He is the head of projects and development at Horizon Industries Parks, which is a subsidiary of Blackstone. He brings over 29 years of rich experience in real estate development, project management, and facilities management. He has held leadership roles in various sectors, including residential, commercial, data centers, and IT real estate development. Welcome, Mr. Mahendra. And finally, we have Mr. Siddharth Pradhan. Siddharth Pradhan is the Regional Sales Manager, North and East at Systems Logistics. He has 14 years of experience and worked with various companies like Hicrobot, Flash Electronics. He has expertise in industrial automation and robotics and sales management. So wonderful panel of speakers that we do have, and let's start our session. First question, I'd like to go directly to Mr. Pranay because he's representing one of the top quick commerce companies. So, Mr. Pranay, just help us understand what is a micro-fulfillment center and what purpose it serves in the industry?
Yeah, thank you, Dhritimon. Good afternoon, all. Hope everyone awake after the good food. Okay. So, micro-fulfillment center, it's a small storage facility that is created to use of end customer. Like I wanted to deliver the goods from that particular facility. It is near to the customer locations. We can say mostly e-commerce are using this micro-fulfillment center. I just wanted to distinguish, everyone knows warehousing. Warehousing, same, it's a small model of warehousing. We called it a micro-fulfillment center. It is near to the customer location. Just now just Dhritiman point out, warehousing, big warehousing, outside city, transportation, costly, inside city movement are very costly. So this fulfillment center help to deliver faster. This fulfillment center help to fulfill your FMCG product quickly. Like all the e-commerce are delivering in 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Different e-commerce having their different timelines. So compared to large warehousing, small micro-fulfillment center, it's easy to open. It is accessible. So we can open multiple fulfillment center in nearby area. Just wanted to few example, like if I wanted to go big warehouse, might be I can open outside city 1 or 2 that can hold the 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh or 4 lakh square feet. But micro fulfillment center, it just 2 to 5,000 square feet. I can open in any of the area. Consider Mumbai, Hiranandani, Thane, I can open in Powai, Hiranandani. Based on the requirement, I can open and I can fulfill goods from that particular micro fulfillment center. So this micro fulfillment center wanted to, like we have 2 challenges. One, downside and upside. In the micro fulfillment center, biggest challenge is to hold the inventory. Stock out situation, maximum time we feel the stock out situation in the fulfillment challenge. Again, daily replenishment. I have to replenish daily because demand is drastically changing. Consumer continuously moving from one brand to another brand based on the pricing, based on their benefits. So that demand cater from the fulfillment is the biggest challenge, and maintain that inventory at a fulfillment center is a big challenge. Let's talk about the upside of from this fulfillment center. From that fulfillment center, mostly we are now moving toward zero emission. We are going EV, electric vehicles. So from that fulfillment center, my cart value is lower side. Just only one customer delivery, two customer delivery. So I can go with the EV. So green synergy is coming with this micro fulfillment center, and it is cost economic as well. Plus micro fulfillment center, I can do the quickly automation. In a larger warehouses, there is a challenge to capex investment, automation, lifting. In a small micro fulfillment center, we can do the quickly automation like pick list generation, order generation, automatically pick orders and hand over to the packers. This kind of automation I can do the quickly. Faster delivery, everyone knows, because now customer demanding the faster delivery from all the players who are available for e-commerce in the customer, like Zepto, everyone knows, continuously booming. Blinkit also continuously booming. Each and every companies, they starting for a quick deliveries because this is a demand created and customer liking it. Again, like cost benefit from the fulfillment center, quickly, based on the demand, I can open it in the particular area, fulfill the demand. If the demand is not fulfilling, I can shift that micro fulfillment center to another area where I am getting the demand. So these are the facts currently I am available with the micro fulfillment center. So I'm just handing over to Dhrimitri to connect further.
Good, thank you so much. I think you have given us a visibility both in terms of the positives as well as the challenges of a micro-fulfillment center. Specifically, I like that point because what happens sometimes when you open up a large warehouse, when you think of a large warehouse, the first thing is looking for a large warehouse takes time. Then you start operation, it takes time. Even closing operation also takes a lot of time. So when we talk about MFCs, you can open comparatively quickly and you can also close down depending on how your business is doing quickly, relatively quickly, not that it'll be just click of a button, it gets closed. So you have also touched upon one particular aspect that today this is actually growing. So there are different thoughts in the industry that whether this kind of warehouses or the dark stores are going to sustain or not. But in reality, we are seeing that every month the number of dark stores are actually increasing. So that means somewhere possibly the answer to whether it will sustain or not is yes, it is going to sustain. We will look into that particular aspect a little bit later. Before going to that aspect, maybe Mahendra, I will ask a question to you. From a design element point of view, we are talking about very small size warehouses of 2,000 square feet, 3,000 square feet. How the design element has to be looked into from maximizing efficiency, maximizing utilization of the space point of view. What are some of the things that as an expert in this particular area you would like to suggest?
Yeah, thanks, Dimitrio. We as Horizon has been in the space of industrial and logistic parks. We are largest real estate park developers, industrial logistic park developers in India. So we understand warehousing. So currently when we are doing this business, we understood, I mean, a couple of people like Zepto, other people in quick commerce and e-commerce, there was a lot of increasing demand in city for warehousing. When we understand that market, it's very spreaded market currently. All the old galas or shops are being taken by them. There are a lot of transport related issues, vehicle approach, exits, ingress, egress, people movement, all that kind of issues are we identified. And we are trying to figure out where we can have in-city multi-level warehouses which can serve the purpose of all these formats that currently people like Zepto and other quick commerce people are looking at. So there are a lot of design challenges in terms of access, people, the associates, man-material movements, ventilation for these areas, a proper store, power, EV charging stations, firefighting systems for the said warehouses. So these kind of all aspects for a typical warehouse development, which are also applicable for large formats, which we are trying to incorporate in all in-city warehousing centers. Now, while doing so, we are also competing with, say, if there is an X plot of land available in the city, whether then that plot of land will first fall for residential or commercial development where they will get maximum value out of that plot. So there are that kind of challenges for us currently in putting up in city centers, but whatever said and done, we are working on solutions to bring that and hence to optimize on certain aspects to incorporate this, because there's a big demand from in-city warehouses that we are foreseeing currently. People like Zepto and all other people are increasing the footprint. Customers are liking the product. And so these aspects we will be taking care for. We are currently in plan to launch around 13 odd projects in city, which will house multiple formats of in-city warehousing.
Okay, just a follow-up question on that is, how do you see in terms of the challenges related to maintaining the design element in such a small size compared to a large warehouse? So if suppose anyone from here is interested to invest in the dark store business, because many people are talking about this is a very lucrative business. So from a design element, what are some 2-3 aspects which are very critical that you'll ask them to take care before getting into that particular business?
So I would like to answer in different stuff, because we currently do lease model. So you need not to worry about the setup cost for the warehouse in small shops or whatever that galas that would be. So we are looking out multi-level, means all the truck movements, all the goods movements happen at each level. So we are not only looking at lift serviced multi-story warehouses, but the incoming and outgoing goods, the vehicular approach to each and every floor is what we are planning to design and put in place, such that the operator, whosoever is the operator, is at ease in handling his business in terms of throughput that is required for the delivery, on-time delivery.
Okay, that's great. So the opportunity is there. You have heard him, right?
Yeah.
No need to worry. A lease model is available.
Correct.
So Siddharth, coming to you, I think when we talk about this kind of city warehouses, one of the benefit that Pranay was talking about is benefit for the environment, right? Because those are small pack size, small box size, a small order size gives you an opportunity to use alternate method of delivery. So how do you think that, in MFCs, how EVs can actually change the way logistics being managed and how it can help to solve some of the pressing issues that currently the logistics industry is facing from a sustainability point of view?
Thanks for the question. Hi everyone, this is Siddharth Pradhan from System Logistics, and we are into space of warehouse automation. So thanks for giving insight of MFCs, and regarding this, anyhow, as Pranay highlighted, EVs are already like in their way. They are using EVs almost from now, from a year. Now, most important part in this delivery part is we have to help for 2-3 things. First is carbon footprint from fuels, and then delivery cost because of our petrol expense and all. So all these things EV can easily help us and optimize the cost, manpower, carbon footprint. Then second thing is EV, anyhow, there will be some challenges for EVs. I think Pranay can rely on that maintaining the battery, then infra for their charging stations, and after that carbon footprint, still it is not handled completely by EVs. So I think up to some extent EV is the solution, but coming to the future, maybe we have to move further. We have to think something which is a bit different from the technology of EV. And that will be, as per me, it can be drones. People will always see like it can be an imaginary thing, it will be impossible or sometime it takes a long time. But I understood that if we move further to the drone delivery, that is the only point which can make MFC sustainable and profitable, because that will be immediately cutting out and optimize the manpower of runners. It can reduce the drastically the footprint, carbon footprint. So that is more important point. And also a cost of a EV can get you 2-3 drones at least in the future. But yes, for making this happen, we required support from every stakeholder. It will be a government, there should be a central aviation system, and that have to be maintained. That is the exact current need, where government can support us in a centralized aviation system which can make this possible. There will be so many trials of drones happens and is successful, but that are on a beta level. But if we talk about exact implementation, there should be a perfect aviation system monitored centrally. It will be integrated. The flight traffic also, it can be implemented. The flying height sensors for drones, everything have to be taken care. So next will be anyhow drones. Will be soon, I hope we'll see this. And further to add this, what happened after drones? Like we always discuss that we need everything in 10 minutes. What is next? We always discuss how fast we required, our expectation is going to change. Maybe today we want in 12 minutes, 10 minutes, next time maybe we need in 5 minutes. So maybe second thing, what can be a future, Pranay can give more idea on that, that maybe this MFC is going to convert to a NFC, Nano Fulfillment Center, in which there is a possibility. I'll start with a story. Almost a 15 years back, I was with my uncle in Mumbai, and he told me, okay, carrying a basket in his hand, I'm going to take milk. So I thought, okay, in Mumbai, is it he's going to a tabela or somewhat, since he's carrying a basket? Because we are from the tier 2 cities, we will be used to for that doodhwalas. So I was excited. I said, let me come with you. So we visited, and somehow he stopped at Mother Dairy booth and put 4 token and put his bucket inside under a toy cow. And I was very happy, okay. So dispensing, I think that can be a next level which can make MFC to a NFC, Nano Fulfillment Center, where there is a possibility instead of covering a 3-kilometer area, we might shift it to a area which can cover 500-meter radius. And it can be a dispensing machines where we have at least 200 quick SKUs, fast moving SKUs, and it will be dispensed. You will place an order, the dispensing machine dispense the product, and it will be packed inside a bag, and your order will be ready in maybe a minute, and it can be delivered by runners instead of these bike delivery guys in 2-3 minutes. So that can be converted to 5 minutes maybe. So this is it.
Wow, superb. So you're actually showing us the future nano fulfillment center. So I can relate that dispensing machine that you mentioned. So we have one similar dispensing machine in our office also. So just imagine same kind of dispensing machines are there just near to your apartment, and then either you can directly pick it up or the delivery boy can pick it up quickly from there. So fantastic. So I'm sure that the way things are changing, things are improving, or the changes in the customer expectation is happening. these kind of innovations are not far away. Neha, I'll just come to you because you represent Nivea, and I'm sure that your products customers are also expecting to receive in 5 minutes for a quick makeup and attend a party, right? So now, from a collaboration point of view, how do you think that, what are the requirements to better collaborate with the industry partners so that we can reap maximum benefit out of this entire system of micro-fulfillment center, the nano-fulfillment center, which will be coming in future? For the time being, let's focus on only micro-fulfillment center. I'm sure that there are a lot of stakeholders who are involved to finally make it successful. It is not only the company which is only serving, like Zepto. So any thoughts on that? The collaboration and the partnership is?
Yeah, so thank you for the question, Dhriman. I think it's a thing to stay, because if I even take Nivea out for a moment, the basic rule of supply chain is to stay closer to the customer. So by MFCs, are we going closer to the customer? Yes. Now, how close is a question, right? But at Nivea, we say that if you go in a shower and you realize that you're running out of a roll-on, you place an order, and by the time you come out, you should have it available, right? Is there a need? Yes. Is there a need state? Of course. Now, why is it happening? Because as more and more customers in India start having more disposable incomes, they really are looking into grooming as a good need, and hence there is definitely a need to go and put. But there are also some complications coming with it, right? Like all of us, when we spoke of micro-fulfillment center, we put that, let's put fast-moving products. But in India, there is nothing like fast-moving. The same micro-fulfillment center in Holi is serving a pitchkari to it in Diwali giving you something else, right? And in India, you need everything. I mean, if most of us had lunch today and we saw even ice cream had 6 flavors, right? You need it. And while as Indians, we are wanting to have lot of convenience and we are valuing our time more, we still want it discounted. We still want it at a lower rate, and we still want all the variants available. And even geographically, we are very diverse. So we always say India is not singular, it is plural. Because you'll have a Baisakhi in north, to a Pujo coming in east, not all of them falling on a one fine day. Like most of the Western countries, you will have 25th December or a Black Friday coming and giving a sale. But we are not going to be like that. So what we see as a concept of fast moving is not going to be fast moving. But do I see this to be sustainable? Yes. We have seen it in our own way, like we saw an example of milk dispensing, right? But I'll give you another example which happened in front of our own eyes, right? And it's and without any technology. If you take an example of a medical store that used to be there as we were growing up, it was a place where you go with a doctor's prescription, or sometimes when you're not well and they'll give you a medicine and you come back. Then suddenly somebody realized that most of the time you're going with a kid, and hence it might be a good idea to keep a chocolate there. Then we also realized it is something that's available 24/7, so why not have an ice cream counter also by the side of it? Now, if the kid is coming and wanting a chocolate, why not have a pack of chips, right? And slowly, steadily, now if you go, most of the companies have chemist as a channel. That has evolved completely. Why? Because they leverage 24/7 as an advantage. And COVID was one classic case. If you go to any medical store, they would at least be holding 7,000 to 8,000 SKUs without having a proper WMS in place. They are actually micro-fulfillment centers, right? So I think we need to break it down and put it, because there are no new assets like having new land where you're going to build it up. It's only going to get further and further fragmented. Like if a micro-fulfillment center is serving 3 kilometers radius, you want a nano-fulfillment center which will serve 500 meter radius. Now if we are going to go that fragmented, it will change the complete model. Maybe the Kirana store which is serving you today will no longer have customers visiting. It would mostly be people coming and getting delivered. That becomes a micro-fulfillment center. And none of this will have a standardized setup, standardized thing. So how will we put it? Because everyone will have a break bulk. Why can't you standardize? Because today I want to give a Nivea roll-on, but once winter hits, I want to put Nivea tins. to a Nivea body lotion. And when it's summers, I want to put a Nivea shower gel, right? All of them are different packs, different configuration, different. How will I even standardize them, right? And all the customers are wanting all of this. We Indians don't like to eat the same flavor of a chocolate, same flavor of an ice cream every day. Every day we need a different variety. So there is nothing called as fast moving. And we are going to put this assortment, still give them at a discounted rate. So I think, is micro-fulfillment center a reality? Yes. Fundamentally, as supply chain or as company, should we be happy? I think closer to customer is better. But this space is going to get super exciting, and because of lack of infrastructure, primarily land not being available, I think we will only evolve the model from the same setup that we have. And hence, it might be that tomorrow the same medical stores are also micro-fulfillment centers 24/7.
Thank you so much for that response. Yeah, sure. So when we talk about then partnership and collaboration, I think we realize that this industry cannot work without that collaboration, because it is evolving. And to your word, there are so many other channels are also going to get introduced to the micro-fulfillment center model. So now that kind of a system is only possible when everyone in the entire chain comes together and collaborate to serve the customer. Because here the customer is the king. So customer will keep on demanding more and more products to be included. And to make it successful from organization point of view, I think these stakeholders who are playing, they need to come together. If only one organization thinks that I only need to make the maximum profit in this game, let me forget about others, that might create a little bit of challenge for this particular industry. Now, coming to Ronak, now because you represent the logistics part of it, one of the questions, I'm sure you have been observing this development over so many years. What do you think from a sustainability point of view, not from the environment part, I'm saying that as a business model, do you think that this is going to sustain for a long term? Because I'm sure many of your logistics decisions will also be depending on this, future outlook, right? So what are your thoughts on that?
So thank you, Dhritiman, for the question. In order to answer the question, may I request everyone present in the audience by the show of hands, if you all can raise your hands, if any of you all have used, the quick commerce platforms, any of them, whether it's a Zepto, Instamart or Blinkit, ever in your life, can we just have, the hands? Oh, that's crazy, almost 100%. So I think this itself just shows, where we are headed. The quick commerce play, I think of Zepto, Instamart and Blinkit has been there for the last 2 or 3 years. And in the last 2 or 3 years, almost 100% of our audience has, used one or all of these platforms so far. So that itself shows that the penetration that these people have managed. I think congrats to you, Pranay, on, achieving that, I think, and Zepto. So I think, so whether it will sustain or no, 100%. I think if someone were to ask me, I think we are not going back. Maybe this 10-minute delivery could become 20, 30 minutes. I think that is something that may happen as the range of variety of SKUs, increase on the platform. Maybe, the time limit that we are used to today of 8 to 10 minutes may get stretched to 30 minutes. But there is no going back, to, multi-day customers waiting for, days together or weeks together for getting their deliveries, which we were so used to until now. So from the sustainability point of view, this is definitely going to remain. And to also add to it, there are fundamental, logics. One thing that I'd like to pick from Neha, I think in the supply chain domain, I think for all of us, have been associated in the supply chain domain for, I believe, good number of years, at least 10, 15 years, most of the audience present here today. Fundamentally, you need to be close to your customer. As close you are, the more you benefit, because your last mile delivery cost, which is a significant cost, that you kind of incur while moving your cargo, and the closer you are, the lesser is your cost, and faster is, faster you can deliver the goods to your end consumer. So this is one logic. And if we were to draw some inspiration from how this entire model has played out, see, quick commerce as a model has not succeeded the way it has succeeded in India the world over. And primarily, there are two fundamental reasons for that. Number one is the density of people, that we have in a country like India, where we have such a large population. We are 140 billion people. The density of population that we have in some of these urban cities is humongous. Probably, I think barring us, it is only China which would have a similar penetration. Most countries, elsewhere, in the western parts or, other parts of Africa or, so on and so forth, have very limited people, concentrated in one location. So this is, I believe, one of the fundamental reasons why quick commerce as a model or micro-fulfillment centers as a model will tend to work. And the second is the penetration of smartphones and internet. I think in India, thanks to Reliance and Jio, they led the entire penetration of internet throughout the hinterlands of the country. Most of the people, in India today have access to internet, cheap internet, and smartphones. That has kind of given them the power to consume things in the manner which we couldn't have imagined. Today, if someone were to tell you that, I met a bunch of friends a few days back, and they were saying, very, very basic example, but when you hear it, it really opens your eyes. There was a couple who I met. They said that, the wife said that I started making poha at home, and I realized, after having started, that the lemon is over, and she thought of ordering from one of these platforms. And before she could complete making the dish, the lemon was, there at the doorstep. So I think these are the kind of examples which one would have never thought, the speed at which, today things are moving. So I feel on the sustainability bit, I feel this is there to stay, and it will only keep becoming more and more efficient is what my take on this is.
Thank you for that response. Now, I have a follow-up question because a curiosity is also coming up in my mind that you represent one of the very large logistics companies in India. So we are talking about micro-fulfillment centers, we are talking about EV, bikes, etc. So if it is going to sustain and if it is going to grow, how companies like VTrans are going to leverage from this growth? How are you planning to, give logistics services around this particular system?
So at VTrans, so like all of us, we also want to participate in this play for very obvious reasons. Because number one, at the speed of which it is growing, the quick com industry is growing at 70% year on year, and I think this will continue. Some of the data points that I was, privy to, thanks to the discussion at such forums, is that this industry is expected to reach maybe $10 billion, by 2029. So there is a huge potential upside which is available as far as demand is concerned. So from our perspective, I think what we have started doing is that we have introduced a new product for this market. It's called quick commerce fulfillment. So where we plan to play is that there are multiple brands, either D2C brands or even large, companies, FMCG, any industry, So we are industry agnostic, who want to supply onto these platforms. So typically, today, most companies may have limited number of fulfillment centers through which they would be catering to the mother warehouses of the aggregator platforms. So what we are doing is we are helping them consolidate. So we already have a warehouse network of over 60 warehouses around the country, and how we are leveraging this is that we are, enabling them to store the material as close as possible to the mother warehouses. So, I would assume that, most of these platforms would have anywhere between 30 to 50 mother warehouses across the country. We can help them consolidate their material at our warehouses and supply as and when the POs come in. So that is something that we are enabling, and we are seeing overwhelming responses, when we are talking and discussing it with multiple brands. And secondly, we've also partnered with a partner for the last mile dark store and the delivery, in the urban markets. So that is also something that we are enabling today through one of our channel partners, who basically again is present in 20 plus cities and working with 150 plus D2C brands. So this is somewhere where we feel that we are also kind of taking exposure, learning at the same time, because it's a very, very rapidly evolving space. So yeah.
That's great. Thank you for giving that visibility. So you have dark stores available on lease. You have logistic solutions also available. So perfect match between the two if you want to start a business. So Mayur, I'll come to you. So today when we talk about the dark stores and these quick commerce, it is not only in the FMCG segment, even in other industries also, people have started thinking how to better utilize this channel, right? So as to reach the customer faster before your competition does. So I'm sure that as an organization, you are also researching the market, you are also studying the market, where it is heading towards, how you can play your part in this industry. So can you share, based on your assessment of this market, what are some of the opportunities that you see in the in this particular model? And also, if you also see some of the challenges, that why any company cannot start a micro-fulfillment center. So what are the opportunities and what are the challenges?
Yes. So I'm Mayur Parwani from Ultratech Cement. As a supply chain professional, I strongly believe we should back our data with numbers. I'll give you some facts. The first fact is that in 2017, all India warehouse market was 187 million square feet, which went to 235 million square feet in 2021, and currently it is 500 million square feet. Coming to the percentage, 37% was earlier driven by 3PL and logistic, 21% with the e-commerce. Currently it stands at 27% e-commerce, while 31% in the 3PL. Coming to the grade A and grade B warehouse. When we say grade A warehouse, that means it is having a very all kind of facilities versus grade B, relatively lesser facilities. Grade A versus grade B, the ratio was 60 to 40% in 2017. Post COVID and post the dark store, it has gone to 79 to 29%. So that is the level, 79 to 21%. So that is the level of opportunity that we have because of the rapid urbanization. If you remember Dunzo when it started, it used to take the material from the grocery store and then it used to deliver at the home. That was a service, but that went on a tank. But post COVID, due to the invention of the dark stores, the delivery is happening in another 10 to 15 minutes. I'll give you two basic examples. What is this customer set of expectation that has run, and then I will give you our industry example. The first example is that there was a case 6 months before. A person who was sitting in a Starbucks at a coffee shop, he ordered a laptop, and within 11 minutes, 96,000 rupees laptop was delivered at the premises of the Starbucks. See the amount of demand planning that it has gone on, amount of warehouse space, amount of ease of payment. So all those things. Another, what level, what habits we have changed. Just few days before I saw in news, you must have come, that porter service, a person wanted to deliver the material from 16th number building to 19th building within the same premises. So that has changed the level of expectation in this industry. Now coming to our organization as an Ultratech Cement, and then I'll come back to our own division, that is building product division. Before all this huge e-commerce thing, Ultratech Cement, it is said that if you ordered a cement bag, it delivers within 4 hours. That is standard benchmark that we send. This is through the extensive distribution network. That itself is a micro-fulfillment center for us. So that is a level before all this e-commerce, we have already set that kind of a benchmark. Coming to division which I represent, that is a building product division, which is basically into waterproofing, tile adhesives. And what as an industry which we do is that wherever the demand is coming, within a set of 100 to 200 kilometers, we try to create a kind of an RDC. We are in touch with the logistic partners and we create a model of center of gravity. Now as a challenge, coming to your challenge, where exactly we said that we want that the RDC or the warehouse should be at a right place to capture a kind of a demand at a particular space.
Yeah, true. I think from a challenge point of view, you have answered in single sentence, but that itself is a very, very big issue, right? You can have multiple dark stores, but then the distribution center supplying to the dark store, the location of that, and how quickly it can serve those dark stores will be the basis on which the services from the dark store to the customers will be decided. So very, very good point, and I'm sure that there is a huge amount of thought being given on that part also. We are only looking at, chalo pehle 200 tha, abhi 300 ho gaya dark stores, but what about the distribution centers which will be serving those dark stores? That is also important. Let's look into another aspect of this industry. So Mahendra, I'll come to you once again. How do you see the regulatory requirement of this particular industry? What are some of the things which are required, which anybody who is interested to get into this business, they need to keep in mind? What do you think in terms of some of the things that government should do further to strengthen from a regulatory point of view?
Yeah, Andritaman. So from a regulatory perspective, the people from a fire safety perspective, the authorities take care, do look after the hydrant systems, sprinkler systems, fire alarm systems, proper exits, exit distances, if there are safe exits available from each and every unit to isolation spaces. So all these aspects are taken care by the authorities, and we need to ensure that these are available in each and every space. If you go back, because our government or the local governments are currently still not used with the space of multi-level warehousing space. Till now, we were having approvals with respect to only 15 meters of warehouse building was allowed in the country. So, yeah, I mean, over a period of time, we had discussed with or represented to the government authorities that the need of the day is we need to increase the height of allowed in terms of warehouse buildings in the country, and we were fortunate that the government has agreed to change some IS codes related to that, and they are now allowing 24 meter of height for warehouse buildings inside the city, multi-level, which was earlier not part. So, but a lot of other stuffs that we need government support is for allowing increased FSI, the parking and the docking spaces to be free of FSI and so forth are our requirements from the government side, which I think as the time goes by, they will also recognize the space and the need requirements, because this kind of development is currently India has started to look upon as an institutional or as a proper development. Till now, it is all working out of commercial spaces in available commercial complexes, but as a proper warehouse or a proper dark store or proper planned utility in terms of approach, in terms of transport, in terms of parking, in terms of docking spaces and so on and so forth is what the days would define, and probably everybody will recognize and understand the need and the regulatory framework required to put in place. I think government will take proper steps to ensure that this demand is also met.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm sure that in due course, some sort of policy kind of things will also be developed so as to give better clarity to the industry what exactly are the regulatory requirements. Now, Pranay, coming to you, because you are trying to solve a very big puzzle for consumers like me. When I look at it, I really astonished that how it is possible for you to deliver the goods in 10 minutes with so many different SKUs, right? So this brings me to the question of how a basic demand planning is done in this kind of environment, wherein you are committing the customer that within 10 minutes you will deliver, because anyway customer has the option of, you are not only the one service provider, there are other service providers also. So you will always have that pressure. If I cannot deliver in 10 minutes, customer may move to someone else. So how do you solve the puzzle of demand planning in such circumstances?
Okay, it's a very interesting question. Before jumping on answer demand plan, there is a lot of hates just hearing sustainability. Multiple speaker already put the thought on the sustainability as well. And there is sustainability, when it's say, it's a unit economics. How much money I'm spending to deliver the goods and how much I'm earning, right? So my calculation based on transportation, holding inventory, and my margin, the product I'm holding. So I can give the two thoughts, like one way, the sustainability come with cost, and few points sustainability come with an zero cost. So with the cost, the first model like EV, it is a best example, it is a growing. Second, you people already knows, maximum warehouses started the solar panel. They wanted to save the electricity. This is a second example for sustainability. Third example, if you saw, maximum people started with the private label. They wanted to create their own brands, private label, to cater the customers so they can make the more margins. Now we come with a non-investment, right? And the non-investment, there are multiple players. If I said one player having the huge network, huge delivery pin code, other player also started compete. Instead of competition, instead of opening that network, he can use the cross utilization. Whatever the existing network available, he can use, so he can save some cost instead of investing in a new network. That is the best. Second, from my point of view, we can do the optimization, inventory optimization, which demand I can hold, how many days I can hold. Third, negotiation with the vendor, like transport vendors, warehousing vendors, for a cost optimization and brands. So in that way, I can save some money and bring toward the sustainability. So already Ronak given the visionary and calculative comment, so it will sustain. So yeah, these are the point can hold the hold the organization toward the sustainability. Okay, now come on the demand plan. It is very interesting because if I consider the Mumbai, maximum people will go with the atta. They wanted to eat the chapati. If I go with the Bengaluru, maximum people go with the rice. They wanted to go with the mango rice. Then different kind of rice they use. These are the habits. So when I create demand plan, there are multiple factors are consideration. The people, the area they are living, what they are consuming. So team can do the data analytics. It is the most important factor in all e-commerce, quick commerce industry. They will analyze your habits, how many times you buy, which product you are buying, what are the related concern. There are some occasions, like in Diwali, I can do some puja material. In Ugadi, I can do Ugadi related material. Same like Delhi, if I go to Delhi, they uses more the spices, so I can keep the spices. So this, my demand plan, it depends on the consumer behavior, what they like. Whatever they like, I can hold as an inventory at my micro-fulfillment center. For that fulfillment center, I can do the backward planning to my mother MH. From that mother MH, I can do the backward planning to the vendor. And collectively, I can create my plan region-wise, city-wise, even though I can go with more specific particular area, like I can pin code-wise, I can create my demand plan and deliver the customers.
I now think that I have a at least better job now compared to yours. That will be difficult really. Now, since we are talking about this very complex demand planning at a pin code level, possibly when we go to nano fulfillment center, it has to be done at a flat number level, right? So coming to you then, Siddharth, we are talking about now digital thing, right? I'm sure to fulfill a customer requirement, not only the good demand planning is going to help, but it is also how quickly I'm picking the product inside the fulfillment center, packing it, billing it, and then handing it over to the delivery boy. So since your company provides some of the logistics, some of the digital solutions, what do you think some of the very good smart warehousing solutions that can be applied in a micro-fulfillment center kind of environment?
Thanks for this question. I can talk a day long on this topic. I started a startup, a grocery startup in 2015, and I ran it for a year and close because at that time we don't have so many things and so many options. But nowadays there will be so many things which can make this model sustainable which can get the good break even quick break even. Even I was always thinking how to make this model a revenue generation. Is it possible? So first thing is, anyhow, Mother Hub, like Ronak ji told us that Mother Hub is a main important point which is fulfilling micro-fulfillment center. So we can have a quick delivery and quick estimation of the product which is going to be soon stock out in micro-fulfillment center. So that is one point where we can have a complete WMS system like we discussed in last session in Mother Hubs with a ASRS system. So whatever is going to empty out in micro-fulfillment center can be immediately trapped by the WMS system, and immediately a auto order will be placed, and the pallets which is required to be sent to MFCs will be ready and delivered quickly. So that is first thing, which can immediately do the job at mother warehouse. Now coming to a micro-fulfillment center, anyhow, major thing is to make it a sustainable. We must have a high warehouse and high dense as well as high speed operation. So that first thing is currently all MFCs are man to goods. There will be a multiple pickers who will go to the each station, pick the goods, pick your order as per the list, and making it and packing it, and after that it will be handed over to a delivery boy. Now important point is, if we can convert it to goods to man, that will be a important point where we can convert this model to a sustainable model. So for that point there is an option of carton handling robots. So where immediately our high bay warehouse, dark warehouse, immediately our orders as per our cart, it will be tapped out with the help of these crate shuttles, and on a station or a single station, a goods to man station, all the 7 products of so all the 7 crates of product which is in your cart will be in front of one packer guy. So he will immediately pick and put in a single slot, and that slot will be carry out and automatically pack your cart order within seconds. So this type of things can be immediately optimize the picker operation. So picker is optimized. Now packer is also optimized because we are going for an automated packing solution. So these are the 2 important points where we can handle and optimize and make it a sustainable, where I think at least a break even can be quicker.
So see, I'm building a business case for you, right? I've given you warehouse on lease. I've given you logistics solution. I'm telling you what you need to do inside the warehouse to make it productive. So the business model is getting built, right? Okay, so Nehaji, I'll come to you. Now in all of these things, whatever Zepto is doing, whatever Blinkit is doing, how companies like Nivea look at it from a logistics cost management point of view? Do you see that because of this model, your logistics costs are going up? Or do you see an opportunity that here is an opportunity to optimize your logistics cost? How do you look at it?
So, as companies like Nivea, even from a customer landscape, we see it as a good level playing field. Now, why we say that, and I'll also touch upon the logistics cost aspect of it, because Nivea, while people feel that we have been known for long, and most of us have a memory of, everyone using a Nivea tin, we established ourselves only in 2005. Some 100 years after our competitors set up. They did have very good distribution system in place. Each city will have a distributor, a stockist, a super stockist, everything. Thanks to companies like Zepto, Blinkit, Amazon, whichever came in, it gave a level playing field that if you don't have a distribution system of your own, you use us as a platform and we'll make your product reach, right? So till I develop my infrastructure, I have a level playing field where my product can compete. Now, when we come to logistics cost, yes, the cost to serve when we dissect it across the channels, quick commerce or e-commerce would always be higher than normal. Why? Because you don't get benefits of scale, you don't get consolidation. For a general trade, you'll do a milk run, go to 10 outlets, right? But what you can do is the kind of, like Pranay spoke, right? It's all unit economics. slowly, steadily as the contribution goes up. And the good part is, it's even the companies are not looking at one wins and other loses, because they know it's going to be an ecosystem that has to work in place, and hence it's win-win, and eventually we'll reach a point where everything will start equating, right? Because if I am having a higher logistics cost, I'm saving up on my margins because I'm reaching my customers very fast, rather than having a long chain of going to a distributor and then a retailer and then going, right? Each channel has its own merits. So what we need to evolve is probably not just see it as logistics cost, but the total cost to serve, which will include elements of margin, budgets, marketing spends, everything. And when you put the whole equation through, I think it is all adding up.
Awesome, awesome. Fantastic perspective. So you should not only look from a cost point of view. What you have touched upon is that the evolution of this particular model has created a level playing field. And in fact, that is so true. You are seeing so many new brands are coming up through these channels. The first time brands, right? All those Shark Tank brands, many of them are actually using this particular channel to reach the customers directly. So I'm sure this is going to open up the market, and when the volume increases, then automatically your per unit cost is going to come down, right? Thank you so much for that perspective. Now, Mayur, coming to you, we were looking into the demand planning aspect from Zepto perspective. But I'm sure if you want to move your products through this particular channel, you need to look at the demand planning a little bit differently. So your regular model, you do one kind of demand planning, but this model will require a different kind of demand planning. Can you throw some light on that? How are you handling that particular requirement?
Yes. So, as I said earlier, that Ultratech Cement, I am representing the building product division. It is basically like tile adhesives, waterproofing, and all those ancillary items which goes in creating houses or protecting the houses. So when we look at the demand planning, we need to see at which stage of the house that particular construction is there. For example, if there is a requirement of X product is coming and that is going on a rise, there is a huge chance that the product which will go after B, A, which will be used after A, will be used. So that is how the demand planning. So there is a certain amount of percentages that goes. So we apply that kind of a model in our demand planning. The second part which we look is that the weather is not same across India. If you go to the southern part, it may be a dampy, or if it is moved towards Mumbai, it has a different season. There is a seasonality attached to that. So that kind of products we push, and again depend on the weather. Which particular weather will be suited to where. So combining the trend, combining the seasonality, we apply that. And then again categorize our products into fast moving, slow moving, non-moving. Having a kind of an importance like a runners. Runners is something which is there round the year, which is a regular product. Repeaters is something which comes in some sort of spikes. When I say spikes, like in 2 months, 3 months. And strangers is something which is once in 6 months. So categorizing our product in that kind of a portfolio helps us in demand planning. So we have categorized our product basket in such 3 to 4 categories, and then based on that we do certain analysis, and then we build up our case on that. Because historical data will act as an input, but will not be always a base for doing our demand planning, because it's a fast growing business for us.
Fantastic. So the demand planning is not a single size fits all kind of a solution. It depends on the type of market, type of product. Good thought on that. And I'm sure depending on the nature of the channel that you are using, there also the demand planning has to be done differently. So Ronak, I'll come to you now. Since you represent the logistics industry, how do you see the future of the growth that is happening in the urban logistics centers, and what kind of support as a logistics service provider you want from the government so that the growth that is happening, this is properly supported, and so that you are in a better position to serve the industry with this growth that you are seeing there?
Thank you, Dhritiman. So from the sustainability point of view of micro-fulfillment centers, I think all of us are on the same page that this is here to remain. How I see this model changing or evolving is that right now, of course, brands are selling omni-channel. There is online, offline, and even the traditional dealer-distributor network through which brands are selling. So this on the the omni-channel space, I see that further efficiency improvement happening as far as micro-fulfillment centers are concerned is where there are shared facilities available. So multiple brands storing under one micro-fulfillment center. So, it's a shared facility model where all your fixed costs are divided between different brands. And, you just need to pay for the variables. So this is, I think, where we are headed to. And on the support from the government side, I think with the advantages also come the disadvantages. There is no good without the bad or the ugly. I think we are seeing our urban centers, which are already very congested, becoming more congested. Traffic is going through the roof. I think infrastructure is a very, very important area where the government needs to define areas. I think what even Mahendra ji spoke some time back, that government needs to designate space for these micro-fulfillment centers or dark stores, as we call it in common parlance, to be set up so that they can be excluded, they can be exclusively located in few areas where proper infrastructure is there. And even on the roads, how do we basically plan, either we have some dedicated, lanes for, the bikers to go out and deliver, or maybe some other innovative ideas come in, because I think where the advantages stop, I think the disadvantages like, rash driving, negligent driving, congestion, all those also kind of come in. So I think the government really needs to think this model is here to stay and only going to increase. How are we able to decongest and solve some of these problems is where I think we look for support. And yeah.
Thank you so much. So friends, we have come to an end of this particular discussion, which with one very specific bottom line that this particular model is going to be there. It is going to sustain. So although there are two thoughts in the industry, some people say that, okay, it's a bubble. The quick commerce is a bubble. The industry is not going to sustain the cost associated with it, and eventually it will drop. But this panel here feels that, no, it is not like that. It's the other way around. It is going to sustain. So if it is going to sustain, what is needed? That we have to adapt to this requirement, because this particular model requires we look into the supply chain a little differently, coming out from the traditional way the supply chain is being used. So I think that's the takeaway that all of us should be taking from this particular discussion. We are also realizing certain challenges of this model, like Ronak was talking about, that traffic, road safety and those kind of issues. There are certain regulatory bottlenecks that are still there in this industry. And I'm sure in the due course of time, those areas which are limiting this particular industry are also going to be taken care of. And we are going to see a huge surge in this industry, making all the participants profitable, right? That becomes a question mark sometimes. So I'm sure that day will also come. My friend here is happy because of obvious reasons, and we know that things are doing good for some of the companies because of very good decision making that they've done, right? Initially, some of these companies have struggled, but some of the changes that they have done in the model, that is helping them to grow positively. And with that hope, we are closing this. We will be taking 2 questions because of the paucity of time. Any 2 people? Yes, we have 1 person here. Can we have the mic?
Hi, my name is Sushant. I'm from Regis, India. We talked a lot about the MFCs and their distribution models, demand plannings and everything. Only one factor which I have not been able to find out in this discussion, how hygienically these MFCs are equipped to cater the public services. Like for example, most of the MFCs, if you went through or if you go through the, which are located within the premises in the nearby residential colonies, are not hygienically equipped. These are dealing with a lot of the food merchandisers, which are the major contributors, you know. So for a customer like me or anyone, normally maximum contribution comes from the staple merchandise, which you require in a day-to-day operations or day-to-day consumptions. So how hygienically, for example, sir, you talked about the various regulatory authorities, fire exits and everything. So are we paying any concentrations towards managing the hygiene in the systems? Because once you go, because we are talking about, you know, the long horizon these MFCs are going to sustain. But now as the peoples are moving across the value chain, income spends are rising, people obviously at a point of time will be asking for the hygiene what we maintain. Normally the staples which comes directly from a merchandise, from a dealer, there are certain bandwidths, there are certain regulatory authorities which needs to be maintained. So are we looking across here? Like,
so you would like to take that one? Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about the quick commerce. Everyone knows how this industry quickly jump on the growth. Okay. If I start any micro-fulfillment center, so for the particular 1 year span, but I come to know that is coming short because my demand is 100x. Okay. Definitely, as regulatory bodies are coming, there is regulation also coming. So there is a cycle of startup. Once we open up, we maintain, we see the growth, we expand, we deploy the process, and we take it to the longer run. So yes, definitely, those who are the early open fulfillment center, that with the regulatory involvement plus process driven, that going to be improved at a hygiene level. 90% the new stores already started with a standard operating process. They are well maintained hygiene. Few of the stores everywhere, whenever we visit, we just take an example of small, you just saw the Kirana stores nearby you. If you go hygiene, you just saw material here and there lying because he do not have that capacity. It's a small store and he wanted to sell the higher product with different variety, right? So sometime that product you see that chips packet lying on floor, right? Sometime it's keeping on table, sometime it's in rack. So it is happening. And this industry also growing rapidly. With the rapidly, they are deploying standards, they are deploying process. So it's not a concern for a hygienity. It will be sorted with the processes. And company already, all companies, e-commerce, quick commerce started to maintain the hygiene. Might be Mahindra can add on some more.
I mean, if you look at the current developments of all these fulfillment centers, which are again made to work in some areas. So probably that's why some institutional players like us are planning to have it in an organized fashion. So multiple fulfillment centers in one location, addressing all the associate needs, their washroom facilities, the in-house people, the driver needs, the parking needs, EV charging, and all that in an organized manner is what we are looking after. And that's where you will see more and more people like us coming into this play. You will have better facilities organized in neat and nice way, such that they can, the people like Zepto and other people can add further to this infrastructure.
Any other question?
So, yeah, Rajiv, this side from Sketches. One thing I just want to understand from the panel here is, there's a word called zero warehousing, okay, from inventory storage to inventory flow. So as the quick commerce is getting traction, okay, and as the micro-fulfillment will go up, right, how do you see the traditional warehousing landscape getting changed in another 5 to 10 years? Because more and more inventory will be in the flow rather than in the storage. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's zero warehousing, right? Zero warehousing. Yeah. So best example here, Neha is here. Already she given the example, instead of making inventory, instead of holding warehousing, she started using the distribution networks of others. So I can relate that holding cost is zero. She just one time delivered to this distribution network and reduce the costing of warehousing and start the selling with product with this platform. Yes, zero warehousing will come where you holding the product and you wanted to sell. So these distribution networks companies going to hold the warehousing, like Ronak. I am asking him to add a point. These companies will going to hold warehousing, but it will be drastically reduced. We can more optimization in manufacturing. We use the just-in-time. From the manufacturing to the direct seller, we can eliminate this warehousing, and we ask our manufacturer, this is my fluctuating demand, this is my requirement, you can produce it, deliver to my micro-fulfillment center directly. From there, I can give it to the customer. So cost optimization will be also there. Yeah, Ronak.
Yeah, I think I'll just add, to what Pranay just said. I think, see, zero warehousing is a dream. Eventually where everyone wants to reach, and I'm sure that one fine day we should be able to get close to that. And fundamentally what you mentioned is that no one likes to overstock. If brands are able to reduce the amount of inventory days that they are carrying today, by efficiently selling it through different channels, I think that is what is the most optimal scenario. And we are already moving into that journey, whereby, demand forecasting, systems are becoming more and more intelligent. There are, multiple tools available today, whereby, you are able to get, data, do better data analysis and, obtain solutions as to how optimally you should be operating. So I think leveraging all of that, most brands are typically trying to, make their, systems and inventories more and more efficient and hold less inventory. But I think only one caveat is that, we saw what happened during Corona, where just in time, got completely forgotten, and, people started moving to just in case. See, no one wants to, lose any orders, I think order loss is sales loss, directly. So I think just, people need to bear that in mind. So eventually, zero warehousing, as per me, will probably, is a dream. We don't know when we'll, see that happening. But yeah, I think reducing number of days is something that can be definitely done. And different platforms are there. You might as well utilize these platforms, to sell your products and, stock less inventory. Yeah, thank you. I hope I'm able to, add some value to your question.
Okay, one more question, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Jen from Origio. So I have a question for you. Because yeah, am I audible? Yes. Okay. So I just wanted to know any
Take it closer.
Solution, as we discussed for B2C a lot, any warehousing solution for B2B segment of healthcare sector? Pardon?
Can you repeat the question?
Any warehousing solutions like MFC for B2B segment of healthcare sector?
Let's.
So I'll just touch upon on that particular point, because I represent a B2B industry, okay? And in our industry, till 2 years back, we were not discussing about this particular concept of 10 minutes delivery, 15 minutes delivery, because we say that this is not for us. But 2 years back, a few of our customers started demanding, giving us example of Zepto and Blinkit, saying that if they can deliver in 10 minutes, why can't you? Now, when we talk about our customers are actually resellers of IT products, okay? Or a retailer of an IT product. So, we don't have a solution for that particular problem fully for the entire country. So how we have tried to address that requirement is, in some key locations, like say Bangalore city, Delhi city, Mumbai city, we have identified the market wherein most number of electronics resellers are located. And in that particular location, we have opened up a small 1,000 square feet store. So what we are doing, weekly 3 or 4 times, we are fulfilling inventory. We are keeping certain SKUs by understanding that what are those products which are ordered by these customers in 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 piece. And we are only keeping those 20, 25 SKUs. We have 6,000 SKUs. Out of that, only those 20, 25 SKUs we are keeping in those locations. And then as and when there is a requirement, we have kept a biker also, just like a dark store. That guy goes and delivers those 2 laptops immediately to the reseller. So that's how we have tried to find out a solution to this. Whether the similar kind of solution will be applicable to all industries, I don't know. I mean, industry, the solution might be different.
Can
Would
I
you
add
like to-
something?
Yeah.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, this, what we've seen am I audible? Yeah. So what we've seen in the B2C space, I'm sure it can be leveraged higher in the B2B space. So to give you one case study, we have recently tied up with one company, one paints manufacturing company, where they have set up a tinting machine. So a paint mixing machine essentially to basically roll out different shades of paints. And we have deployed it in micro-fulfillment centers within the city. So basically when the order comes in, we mix the paint up and we service it immediately within 30 minutes, 60 minutes time frame. So there are multiple use cases that can be thought of, and for different industries, I think you may not be able to sell all your products on B2B, but I'm sure some products, fast-moving products, or products which are not very voluminous or bulky in nature, they can be easily serviced using the micro-fulfillment center network. So I think B2B has a bigger leverage because of the sheer volume size that they kind of have compared to the B2C industry.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thanks to all the panel members. So somebody is telling me that we need to close it now. Thank you so much. You have been a fantastic audience.